up? This is Bio from Tats Cru. We over here at New York City NycArtsCypher in Staten Island doing our things. Got the whole crew out here representing. We're getting busy. For most people, they won't see the difference, but as someone who does this as a graffiti artist, these are guys who are taking time to plan out what they're gonna do. You know, they're developing their style, they're thinking of a concept, their themes, their colors. You know, and then you got some guy who just grabs a spray can and tags on the side of somebody's house or somebody's car, and they're both seen as graffiti artists. But one of them is actually vandalism. The other one, there's a thought and a process behind it. Not every kid is into skateboarding, not every kid is into basketball. Some kids are actually into art, painting. By providing an outlet for them to do it, you can actually have some control over what they do.
All right, last for the New York City Art Cypher and the Mural program. Graffiti art is like the things we're doing right now. Graffiti art is legal, graffiti vandalism is illegal. The rules are different, graffiti is different. Before, you get arrested, you would get misdemeanor. Now kids get caught writing graffiti, they could get a felony. I don't know if they take it lightly, but when you're a kid and you're 16, 17, 18 years old, you don't think about your future, and a felony could definitely stop you from getting a lot of jobs.
Yeah, it's now or never. Tattoos and body works, Shaolin. I think it would help, if kids had a place to go and do it, like a Hall of Fame or something. Letters, colors, characters, clouds, force fields. You gotta follow the formula. There's always gonna be graph, You can't stop it. I spit symmetry ill, simile spill to build imagery from the veil to a hill in Italy chill. My skills severs, I kill letters better than you ever will, cause you never come clever, whatever the case, wherever the place. You could see me doing graffiti in 3D, so leave me a space.
When I was young, I was into baseball cards a lot, and I really liked the Mets. So it's like I didn't want to write Mets because I thought it was corny, so I wrote it backwards and I started writing STEM. Graffiti art and vandalism, those words explain itself. Graffiti, which I call the aerosol culture, which I really like to call it, is like you get to express yourself and show people that not only can you use a spray can and you don't need a paintbrush to show that you're fresh, you could use spray paint and show how ill you could get, you know what I'm saying? Like Michelangelo, like all these dudes that did the Sistine Chapel or whatever, it's like you could do the same thing with airbrush. If they want to learn how to do stuff like I do, I'm here, man. They could ask me whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, what's good, people? It's Cody Prez, representing Staten Island, Graph game is one of those things that is gonna stick in my blood forever. I'm out here representing with New York City Art Cypher, doing the thing with them, Charlie B. Here to give you a little bit of peace of my mind on where I see it to be. Difference between graffiti and vandalism is a major difference. Vandalism doesn't even have to do with graffiti. Vandalism is a quality of life thing. Graffiti is not vandalism unless you choose to go out there and use graffiti to be a tool for vandalism. That's the difference. Graffiti art is a worldwide mechanism nowadays that I'm proud to be a part of that.
My name is Suleika, aka Lady Sue. I'm 21 years old. I'm from Staten Island, New York. I know a lot about art, not only about graffiti. It's not my main thing. My main thing is drawing, shading. I like graffiti because it's like a self-expression. You spray paint whatever you want, whatever colors you want, It could be the ugliest color, and you can mix it up with something else, and it comes out hot. It has different shapes and forms. It's not boring. It's very hip. It's very stylish. You can't go wrong with graffiti.
What's going on? My name is Mike Dye, Staten Island, living legend. When I first started, it was more to get my name out there, have people recognize the name Dye. But as I go on throughout the years, I wanted to be more creative with it. That's why I created my own type of graffiti / artwork. It's more of a spaceship type, abstract. Graffiti is seen as graffiti. They don't see anything as street art or art. Basically, once they see anything that has to do with a can of spray paint, it's automatically illegal and everybody shuts off to it and doesn't want nothing to do with it. There's a guy going around painting American flags on buildings and they're getting away with it. But if I go up there and paint the spaceship, nobody wants to look at it, so.
What Where to Turn does is try to address issues. One of the issues we had shortly after 9/11 was that graffiti started becoming more noticeable on Staten Island. We found out through doing graffiti cleanups that a lot of times if you replace the graffiti with just a blank wall, it becomes an open canvas for somebody else to tag. But we found if you do a mural on it, there's a little respect for that mural and they're less likely to graffiti the wall. We figured if they're less likely to tag a mural, maybe they'd be even less likely to tag an American flag mural. Some people see graffiti as art, other people see it as strictly vandalism. I think it falls somewhere in between. It's being taken a lot more seriously with the police department now. You get caught once, you get the opportunity to come through my program and try to work it out. If you get caught a second time, you're probably going to go away and it's going to become part of your permanent record.
My name is Andrew Lanza. I have the privilege of representing the people of Staten Island in the New York State Senate. I represent the 24th Senate District. I hesitate to say graffiti and art all in the same sentence. The issue there is the fact that at its core, graffiti is vandalism. If Leonardo da Vinci were to come back from the dead today and paint the Mona Lisa on the side of someone's house, they'd be very lucky, because it would be worth a lot of money, I'm sure. But if you didn't have the permission of the homeowner, then it's a crime. It's criminal mischief.
I am Mike Cusick. I am the State Assemblyman for the 63rd Assembly District, which is the mid-island of Staten Island. Well, graffiti art and graffiti, I think, are two different things. Graffiti art, that's the key term, is art. I think that there is a place for graffiti as an art form. I know that there are many young people out there that like to express themselves with graffiti, and I think in some sense it is an art. Unfortunately, a lot of Staten Islanders, a lot of residents here, they associate graffiti with what they see on fences or walls as vandalism. If we channel this talent the right way, and that's what NycArtsCypher does, this could be a beautiful thing that we could utilize as islanders and make this island a beautiful place.
My name is Billy Recca. I was born and raised in Staten Island. I live in Old Town. I go to McKee High School. What interests me about graph is the different styles that people can create just by using their mind. Different colors, techniques of shading.
My name is James Smith. I go to McKee High School. I'm from Great Kills. I like the mural program because I get my style up, learn how to do better things with paint and how to use spray paint in a good way. I do not plan to get arrested for graffiti.
My name is Anthony Griffin. I'm 15. I go to Taunton High School, and I'm from Melissa. Graffiti to me is more of an art form. A lot of people think it's vandalism, go out and get your name up. It's not really all about that. It's about your form of writing.
My name is Philip Sons. I'm 13 years old. I live in Timeville, and I go to IS-34. I'm interested in graffiti, because I like it, the way it looks. It's like art, and I like the more art form of it.
Yo, my name is Ramon Camberlin. I'm 18. I go to Susan E. Wagner. I live in West Brighton. I love graph because it lets me play with letters in a way that I don't normally see it on the wall. I get to create my own type of style.
I'm Daniel Diaz. 15, I go to McKee High School, and I'm from Mariners Harbor. What attracts me to graph is the colors, the style, just everything about it.
My name is Mike, I'm 15, and I go to I-75, and I live by Huguenot. What interests me about graffiti is about the art, and I like writing in books.
My name is Lenny Cabrera, I'm 17 years old. I go to Susan E. Wagner High School, and I'm from West Brighton. What I like about graffiti is like the colors, the nature of it, and how people's imaginations just flow onto a wall, a piece of paper, with just a touch of a pencil and a can of spray paint. I'm interested in the mural program because I want to learn more about the culture of graffiti art, not the vandalism, and everything that graffiti is about. I want to understand how to control colors and how to execute a piece nice.
My name is Mr. Grills. All right, today I'm going to give you guys a lesson in black books and how to put your artwork into a book. A lot of people have questions about, well, I just started writing, and you'll want to figure out how do you get your own style. Skill is the mother of repetition, which means that if you do something on a consistent, regular basis, you have to do it all the time. It's like with anything, if you don't use it, you lose it. Me, what I want out of my book, when I have a piece book, I want my book to be from cover to cover, a banging piece on every single page. That's what I want. The question is, how do you get a book that's filled with nothing but good artwork? Have you ever seen a book that's just filled with good artwork that doesn't have a tag over here and a bubble over there? How do you do it? You do the first 3 or 4 pages of your book, even if it takes 2 months, and make sure that it's fly. Because when people see that what you've done in the book is good, they're gonna wanna put something, their best work, in your book. You don't have to be the dopest artist. Some people are just born artists. Some people just have it in them naturally. They have the gift for being able to draw somebody's face or to do a sculpture. Other people like myself, I had to just learn through trial and error. Whenever you're tracing something or when you're writing something and you're doing it with pencil, don't do it hard. Because remember, you're gonna have to go back over that and you may see something that you wanna change, and if you keep erasing it, you'll end up messing up your whole thing. Now, do you know what color the character's gonna be?
Pink and purple.
All right. So you like those Barney colors, right? Pink and purple? I use pink a lot of my pieces, man. Here at the New York City Art Cypher, we're showing you guys how to use spray paint, but not to vandalize. We're doing it to promote artistry, you know what I mean? A lot of times you guys think that the nozzle is gonna make you a banging artist. It's not like that. I could use a stock tip that comes with the paint, or I could use a skinny tip or a fat cap, whatever it is. It's all about hand control. So another thing that you can do is this. If you want to give this more dimension, you take the same color. This is what you call what? What color is this on the inside of the letter? It's called a fill-in. This is the fill-in color. And the outer color is called what? The outline, right? So you take the fill-in color, and here's what you can do. You can mist it in the very middle like this. That gives it automatic dimension. It gives it what you call a light source. Some people do this. They continuously spray the paint. They go like this. That wastes paint. If you do this, stop, come back, you only use exactly what you need. Graffiti is an evolved expression of art via aerosol or via markers. Vandalism is when you go out and you scrawl your name on somebody's house or somebody's building, and there's nothing pretty about vandalism because taxpayers end up paying for it, and we all somehow have to pay for it. Graffiti has advanced to the point where you have programs like the New York City Art Cypher to kind of construct a place where these kids can learn how to airbrush, how to spray paint. So there's really no reason, you know, for vandalism to still exist on Staten Island, but people want fame, people want to be identified, people want their names to be known. What causes a kid to want to go out and vandalize? It's really for acceptance, and it's also a social rebellion. If you have an ex-vandal who did that, and they're able to speak to these kids and tell them that it's ultimately a road that leads to nowhere. These kids are looking at these artists and they're idolizing them and they respect them because they've done it for a long time. So they're able to take their word as bond and say, you know what, he did it for years, he obviously knows what he's talking about. So the value of this program is to give these kids the self-assurity to be able to practice what's inside of them and put it in a more creative form and possibly make money from it. You go to your store, your local store, and you say, you know what, Mr. Johnson, can I just do a painting on the outside of your store? He says, yeah, sure, I'll give you $500 to do that. You get $500, buy $100 worth of paint, and do something really, really nice up there and sign your name on it. Everybody's gonna see that. I would say to anybody that's doing anything, just stick to your vision, march to your own beat, because we all have our own beat. Be yourself and you'll have your validation. Stick to your path, whatever that path is.
I'm Geoff Rawling, I'm an artist. I'm president of Rockaway Artists Alliance. We're a not-for-profit corporation. We run operations out of Fort Tilden here, which is a national park. And we have a lot of different artists, members of our group. We do a lot of different programs, including from exhibitions to workshops to actual education programs. If we're talking about the realm of graffiti, probably the most interesting and exciting thing I did was when I was like 18. I grew up in East London in England, and I traveled to Berlin. West Berlin in those days was an island surrounded by the wall. The wall was a symbol for a lot of people of various things. There was a lot of meaning attached to it. When I was there, I just saw it as a huge canvas that represented a lot of miscommunications. It was very symbolic to me, especially since I was born in 1961 and the wall went up in 1961, and it was a deliberate blockade of culture. And I wanted to break that down and make light of it, if you like. So I painted holes in the wall. And my holes that I painted in the Berlin Wall had broken edges like the brickwork. And it became, at that time in my life, a kind of trademark of my style. And it wasn't really anyone else painting murals at the time. There were people tagging the wall, doing their own little pieces. But I actually spent time and painted it to look three-dimensional and look like an actual artwork. So in my opinion, I took it to the next level. A lot of the purists didn't like it. A lot of people felt at that time that graffiti was a street art, that you had to use spray cans, you had to do this, you had to do that. They were actually trying to make it into a technique. To me, I'm a freestyle artist, so I was using paintbrushes, rollers, spray paint, whatever I had in hand. And of course, it became a political event that got in the newspapers. I got arrested. I was sent to the east by the American troops. There was all kinds of stuff that happened during the process. It was an interesting piece because it was not only a conceptual piece of art, but it had a political point to some people, although not really to me, but it had a symbolic meaning for me because I was breaking down a symbol of anti-art, if you like, with my own art. I find that as an artist, it's never enough to just write your name somewhere. I think you can expand from that. So I would say to anyone who just feels that graffiti is something unique, take it to the next level. Start expanding on whatever you're doing. If you're writing your tag, turn that tag into another piece of art. Create a mural in itself. There's two ways to make paint lighter. You either thin it with water so that your canvas comes through, or you add white to it. Yeah, look at this, see? Here's white. Guys, look at me, everybody look at me a minute. When you're mixing colors, you don't take your piece of color and stick it in the middle of the other color. You take some color here, you move it over. This blue here looks very dark, right? But if you'd be surprised when you take a little piece of it over here and add white, it's kind of electric blue. And the more white you add, the more sky blue it becomes. See how dark that blue is? That's a night sky. So you don't really need much blue in sky. That's way more blue than you need. So what I do is you add a lot of white. The sky always gets lighter as it comes down, even at nighttime. If you go out at night and look at a night sky, it's dark up here. As it comes down, it gets lighter towards the horizon because there is reflection off the planet. I'm doing this very crudely because but if you mix your blue, Yes, you need very little blue, but as you come down, look. It gets lighter as it comes down. I think most kids who do graffiti are intuitive artists, so they may be limited by where they can paint and how much time they have. If you're a kid who knows that you're going to get in trouble from doing it and you're just getting a thrill from being able to put something where you're not supposed to, you could advance a lot further by working with a group like the New York City Art Cypher and creating an actual artwork out of a wall space and get some actual feedback from the community, from other painters, and you can learn a lot, and you can expand your artwork, create a lot of different skills from that. There are many techniques of painting, and if you just show an interest and you come to the Cypher, you'll meet many different people who do different things, and it'll expand your horizons. Your vanishing point is a point in your canvas where everything disappears into. Perspective is about depth. You know, when you say you've got a different perspective, you're looking at something differently. These guys today were receptive to everything. I gotta say, they really looked like they were genuinely enjoying it. They weren't goofing off. They didn't look like they had to be here. They really behaved like they were enjoying this experience. And I gotta say, when we got back and painted, every one of them came up with something. I'm hoping they surprised themselves. That's the most important thing, is that I think if they could discover that there's a lot more to painting than just putting something on a canvas, there's a lot more ways to approach it. If you can teach younger people that there are many ways to go about art and many ways to communicate, I think that's important.
Yeah, my name is Mirzwan. I'm Queens. I run 5 Points Aerosol Art Center in Long Island City, which is the largest aerosol art exhibit space in the United States, quite possibly the world, and it's a building where people could come paint legally aerosol art. People that want to come paint at 5 Points, usually they have to show a sample of their work. Regardless of how good or bad you are, you will get a wall space. If you do something that's better or a production, it'll result in it running longer. A piece could run anywhere from a day to a year, depending on how worked out it is. You see the drain pipe up here? You see the one on the right? It says child. The one on the left says shown. Those are the two oldest pieces in this entire building. Child is a writer from Jersey. He passed away. And out of respect, I left it there. At 5 Points, we have, like I said, we have a wall space for everyone. We have an area that's near the office, which is designated for really the real beginners of artists, you know what I mean? And the length time is probably a day. But you know what? A lot of these kids don't even care. They just want, you know, the opportunity to paint. In terms of tagging, we have had incidents in the past where a tagger will ruin a mural or come and, you know, and do something without permission. I try to, like, you know, contact the artists, talk with them and explain to them that what we're doing for it to succeed, it revolves around the taggers to kind of cooperate in some form. These guys are from Germany. This wall got ruined. I know you guys couldn't tell at first glance, but if I show you right now, the difference of these and then these, I fixed this wall. It not only got ruined, I almost had a fight with the person that ruined it. But you guys, you gotta realize you can't go over people's stuff because it's, you know, it's like spitting in someone's face. I'm sure you guys know that since you guys write already. But even if you guys were to come here and write in the background, you catch a tag over here, you're ruining the whole wall. So just take that into account. I've gotten a lot of respect from a lot of bombers, and I respect, you know, everyone for what they do, you know, power to you, but they've shown a lot of love and appreciate what I'm doing. I appreciate the fact that they're respecting our rules and our place. The media puts the term vandalism, and graffiti is a, you know, a negative term as well, which is the act of, you know, scrawling illegally on the wall, like your name, is associated with aerosol art, which is basically using a can as your tool to put up a mural. And the majority of people that hear the word graffiti associated to either aerosol art or graffiti tagging. They're two different things. They're definitely related, but they're not the same. About 13, I started noticing graffiti art. At that point, being that I was an artist, it was something I was interested in, something I knew nothing of. So I started developing tagging styles and then throw-up styles, and eventually moved on to piecing styles. Over the years, something that I've done pretty much as a hobby, and at times for fame and times for pushing myself artistically, it's become a career. You guys are lucky because you're in the age of the internet, I didn't have that when I started. So you guys could really learn a lot if you really study. Being an artist and being a freelance artist has its ups and downs. I've been at highs where I've done gallery exhibits on Wall Street. Being able to be a freelance artist and my own boss, set my own hours, is something that I wouldn't trade for anything. I'd rather live life that way and live comfortably than live lavishly and not happy. So here's the art. I did those trucks. Do you know what that type of artwork is? Photoreal. Same thing with the Biggie. How it looked realistic. So that was I did that for that company. And it is an advertisement for them. It actually worked out pretty easy to do it because of the bricks. I used the bricks as rulers. So I was able to line it up straight. Although graffiti is a wonderful thing, it's not the only thing in my life. And I'm sure it's not the only thing in your life. Once you get a felony, it sticks with you for life. It's something that you can't erase. It could affect you getting a job and other things. So be very smart in your decision making. If you'd like to continue in it, I'd say do that. There's places like 5 Points which offer an outlet for you and anyone that wants to experience it. There's places like this, so there are ways to go about it, but be wise. You put the cap on, make sure as you're putting it on, you twist away from your face. You don't know how many people I know that have sprayed themselves in the eyes, So just twist, as you're twisting it, keep it away from your face. I've recently been introduced to NycArtsCypher. I'm very impressed with the attention that's put into the youth and keeping them from being in trouble and giving them an outlet, which is something similar to what I'm doing over at 5 Points. There should be something like this in every borough. Me being the first time coming up here, I look around, I see all the artwork, and I'm a big kid, and this to me is like a graffiti toy store. You know what I mean? It's there's art and colors everywhere. It's very inspiring, and it's very, I'm sure for young kids to come here, they're probably taken when they see this place. I think that the city needs to put more money into programs like this and to realize that graffiti aerosol art is an art form, and it's really going to be here to stay. So you have to find ways to work with the youth and to give back. This art form could probably go into a direction, which would be more positive.
How you doing? I'm David Smith here at Mark Ecko Enterprises. I'm the corporate communications manager for Mark Ecko. From his 6 t-shirts and graffiti and just being an ambassador of youth culture, he went from those 6 t-shirts to this empire that he built today. So I'll start you off with a little tour. As you can see, this floor has a bunch of the rhinos and everything on it. This is the Ecko Unlimited floor. This showroom is strictly for Ecko Unlimited. Usually what they do here is they show the product early so that our accounts, like a Macy's or wherever you buy your Ecko Clothing from, they come here and book it early, and they'll give us enough time to ship it to them.
Whatever amount they want.
Yeah, it could be hundreds, thousands.
Yes, this is New York.
This is the Averex line. As you can see, the showroom shaped like the airplane hangar to go with the DNA of the brand. It was only leather jackets, but since 2005, Mark Ecko brought it and created a full-fledged apparel line. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but Mark also has a magazine, Complex Magazine. You heard of it? That's Mark Ecko's office. Here's a sick office. saw how Mark Ecko started to what he brought the brand to now. We went on a quick tour of the Ecko Unlimited room. Saw some of Mark Ecko's upcoming t-shirts and hoodies from his upcoming lines. Took the kids up to see Zoo York, where they saw our big design department and art department. They got to take a look at our in-house graffiti wall. They also checked out our photo studio, our G-Unit office, some of our design teams, cut and sew showroom. Guys, I want to make sure you guys don't leave empty-handed. Got little gift bags for you. On behalf of Ecko.
Thank you very much. It's like Christmas all over again.
It was a full day here at Mark Ecko Enterprises. It was an honor seeing you guys and bringing you guys in. Hopefully you'll come back.
My name is Eric Deal. Grew up in the Lower East Side of Manhattan. Started tagging in the mid-70s. Kind of became a bit more of a fan than a graffiti artist. And I started photographing the work, mainly because a lot of it has such a short lifespan. You get to see it once, and then it's gone. And I didn't want that to happen. Did that for a couple of decades, actually, photographing while I was writing as well. And eventually built a large body of photographs of New York City history and put together a website called at149thstreet.com. At the site, I interviewed dozens and dozens of graffiti legends and heroes of the culture. Eventually, that led to doing a book on the culture.
My name is Martha Cooper. I'm a photographer. I've been photographing graffiti and hip-hop since the early days. And with Henry Chalfant, I published a book called Subway Art, and it basically sent graffiti out into the world.
There's a book called Subway Art, which Martha Cooper and I made. It came out in 1984. 35 years ago, I started to take pictures of graffiti on the trains, of which there was a lot happening. Like in the mid-70s, the trains were bombed with beautiful artwork, and I had been watching it evolve over the years. And finally took my camera and went and took pictures of it.
What was it like to know now that you were a part of bringing graffiti to the world?
Well, you know, then it was like a really underground movement, and I never in a million years thought that it was going to go anywhere else. I thought that I was taking pictures of something that only could happen in New York City. So I'm surprised and pleased, of course, to look back and know that I was part of that.
What do you see as the difference between where graffiti was then and where it is now?
Well, then it was something that very few people knew about, and now we've got predominant worldwide art culture.
When the art world got interested and we started having shows, then the media got interested, and then the world got interested. And so this thing is spread around the world from New York City. And writers from back in those days are the ones who kicked it all off.
If you look at all graphic design today, you look at street art today, I mean, where did it come from? It came from graffiti.
I think it's a positive thing, you know, to show kids there's a lot they could do instead of just, you know, bombing up somebody's garage or catching a tag on a church or something like that. I think this is a good way to, like, teach them how they could better themselves and, you know, create better pieces, and also probably learn stuff from like the older dudes that come in, the older school dudes, you know, they could learn something from them, you know, get their letter skills up and everything, you know, because that's what it's all about. It's all about evolution, you know what I'm saying? It's all about teaching the youth how they could grow and how they could make something better of themselves and show everybody that they could do it.
We're at the NYC Art Cypher. This is like one of the first places that in this era I did a piece which is in the book Graffiti New York.
Before hip-hop, before graffiti, there was nothing. There was none of this. There's always been a need for after school, for people to come and learn stuff, for people to come and create.
We have a great artistic community on Staten Island, and Art Cypher is facilitating youth exploration and expression of that. I've always believed in it. You know, I've provided as much, you know, funding as I can for, you know, Charlie and the Plan, but certainly this is a great place for kids and youth to express themselves and do it in a free and a safe and secure and clean environment.
I think the whole style of what the New York City Art Cypher is trying to provide is very cool. I actually regret that I didn't have many things to access for myself.
Art Cypher is a really, really cool place because it's kind of filling a void for younger artists In the old days, a lot of us just sort of had to pave the way for ourselves. A lot of younger riders can come over here, talk to older riders, learn the history of the movement.
If you see the work that's at the NycArtsCypher off of Bay Street, this is something that we need to encourage in our young people. And it's also a way to get kids a place to go after school, so they're not hanging out somewhere. If we give them an outlet, they won't do that. And that is why I think this organization is fantastic.
The kids literally enjoyed themselves. They went from drawing a regular S to actually drawing a block letter S. And that's the best thing to see. I mean, these kids said they couldn't do it in the beginning, that it was so cool. And by 3 or 4 weeks in, they're starting to do bubble letters and block letters, and it's easy to grasp, but these kids didn't understand how to grasp it until they were actually taught the proper way to do it.
Anytime we can get kids involved in things that are productive, that are constructive, they have less time to get themselves in trouble, whether it's sports, whether it's programs like yours, where you get kids engaged in a meaningful way, where they're dealing with people who are motivated by wanting to put kids on the right path, then we all win. At the end of the day, if youth is out there vandalizing a community and there's an arrest and a prosecution, you know, we've all lost. We've all lost. So if we can prevent that from happening, then we're all better off. I am New York State Senator Andrew Lanza, and I wholeheartedly support NYcArtsCypher for all the wonderful things they're doing to help the youth of Staten Island.
From my experiences at the New York City Art Cypher, I feel at home here, and like just the setting in here. When I come in here, I'm surrounded by art, and I get all my ideas from like the floor, from the walls. I can even look up at the ceiling and get an idea. And it, you know, it's a very wholesome place to be for a graffiti artist.
My name is Felix Tavares. I'm proud to say that this is my nephew. He is currently enrolled in the New York City Art Cypher. He is a very intelligent young man, very creative with his mind. I appreciate this art cypher because it keeps him out of trouble. Thank you.
The mural program, I would say, was like a very enlightening thing for me. Like, I never had an opportunity like this to be a part of such a nice program, and I would kind of want to do it again and over again. To like bring out the best of the artists in me.
What's up? My name is James. This is what I write. What colors match with each other? Which ones are cousins? Which ones are family? You gotta take your time with everything. You gotta make the letters match. It's cool, like, but it's hard to do. My piece next time will look better than this one, cause you know you gotta live to learn. The New York City Art Cypher is good. Like I'd recommend it for people like the graph writers, those type of people. Like. You gotta have the want and need to write graffiti. So come down here, practice, try to get your level of skills up, and this is a cool place to kick it.
My name's Anthony. I write So Long. This is my piece. It was pretty cool. I had more time to plan it out. I didn't have to go up to a wall, just look at it and do whatever. I had time to plan it out. I had time to do the details in my book. I love stuff. It was cool. I like working with the other artists because they're all the artists, they know what they're doing. So like now I'm more into it. I can come here and do whatever I want and still have graffiti in my life.
Hello, my name is Billy, and this is my piece.
I think the New York City Art Cypher is a nice place because, you know, it's all different types of art, dancing, DJing, singing, place for you to come do graffiti and not get in trouble. It kind of welcomes every artist, every type of art form.
I find that this program allows Billy to do what it is that he wants to do in a safe environment, in an environment that's not out there where he can get in trouble. I believe that this program has really helped Billy to stay out of trouble. I have also participated in attending some of the classes that Billy has gone to, and I have to say they were really good even for all ages.
I got joined in the New York City Art Cypher when I got arrested. They sent me to probation. My probation officer suggested to my mom that I come down and talk to Charles Balducci. So I came down here one day, and then that's when I got started in the program. New York City Art Cypher would keep kids off the street and promote them to do good things with their art, not bad things. You don't want to do something stupid and write on a wall and get arrested for it when you could just come down here and do it and not get arrested for it. And maybe in the long run, you're like paid to do more of them. more walls that are legal.
Check it out, it's your boy Charlie B, New York City Art Cypher, El Presidente. We're here today with Gano Grills and Trace One, doing what we call the MURAL program at the New York City Art Cypher. But today we're not at the Cypher. Today we're at what we call the Temple of Shaolin. Big shout out to United Towing, my man Mike, my man Will, and my man Vinny for giving the kids the environment to do what they do.
How you doing? It's Will from Auto Collision here in Staten Island, here with New York City Art Cypher, giving the kids some wall space to work on.
This is not vandalism, this is graffiti art, and they're under the guidance and the tutelage of my man Gano Grills.
I'm here with my man Dylan today. He did his first piece. We're over here with the New York City Art Cypher, Charlie Balducci. What a wonderful program he creates for all these children, get them off the streets.
My name's Chris, I write AEK1. I've been here since September or October, whichever one. And Gano's been teaching us everything. He's been teaching us how to do our letters and stuff. They're keeping us out of trouble instead of getting arrested doing something stupid.
Here down at the New York City Art Cypher, you know, piecing up, doing our name, you know, CEO, yeah, that's me. You know, it's fun, like it a lot, you know, get out and do stuff without getting in trouble.
Hi, I'm GIT. I write Skull Kid. Like, I just started doing graffiti. It's my biggest thing I ever did on the wall. I gotta give props to Gano. This is the Temple of Shaolin. I like graffiti.
My name is Tyrese. I'm here for the NYC Art Cypher. I write nose, if you can see in the back. I love graffiti. Gano gave me the style, but this is what I do.
We're in the back here with Yard Shaolin with the Art Cypher, you know. Part of the Art Cypher is just learn how to paint, learn how to do your style better, tweak your stuff. Got Gano who helps you out a little bit.
What we've been able to do thus far has been really exciting because we came up with a format and a formula to where we can take a lot of these younger kids that have the potential to get into a lot of trouble and come up with a safe environment for them to practice what they admire in graffiti and give them a hub in which to practice it. The first wave that we had was very successful. Now we're on to the second wave. This was a different demographic. We had a lot of kids from the projects that came through. We've given them all of the utensils with markers and pencils and erasers and paper. And I taught them all of the components that are necessary to have a well-balanced piece of artwork. And they really showed a lot of promise. So that really makes me feel good. Guys, listen up, face up. A lot of people like to do rubber letters because they're easy. And then we have burner letters. Burner letters meaning that the letters have some more style to it, but they're not unlegible. Everything is a shape. So if you're drawing a building, what shape would it be? It would be blocks, it would be rectangles or squares, right?
You know what this is. This is Mel Jackson. I'm here with my man Gano, teaching us how to make it proper. And this is expressing ourselves.
So if you draw anything, if you're drawing a human body or you're drawing a building or you're drawing a landscape, everything breaks down into shapes. Everybody look at this square. We're gonna make a 3D out of this square. I'll do the first one for you. So guys, if we're doing the 7 o'clock 3D, we're going in this direction, right? We're gonna extend the square in the direction of the 7. Remember, the foundation of what you draw is everything. If you know the foundations of 3Ds, shapes, letters, you could draw anything. You can learn to look at something and just draw it from sight. When you have the oval, you put a line down the middle, right? This is the formula that you use to make the face. So up here is what you call the brow line. That's where the eyebrow is. These are what you call your abs, all right? It's very easy to draw them. These are called trapezoids. I'm gonna give you guys a project to do real quick. And I want you guys to collaborate on the project, all right? And we're gonna use what we've been learning all of these weeks. Can anybody tell me what we've been learning for the past few weeks? 3D is one. Whenever you use pencils, you're saying to yourself, okay, I'm gonna make a mistake here, and I'm gonna have to erase it. But when you just use a marker straight up, you're saying to yourself, I can't make a mistake here, I have to do it correct. So it's been really successful thus far. I think overall it's rippling out that there is a place that a lot of the kids can come and they can learn what graffiti is, and they can learn how to use it and beautify their neighborhoods, and they could also make money in the interim. So that's a great thing. Half the size of this people would have to do the same thing. Don't be embarrassed, man, it's all good. You know why this is valuable, Ja? Because in 10 years from now, when you're making a lot of money doing these gallery shows and all of that stuff, you're gonna have this to refer on, and people are gonna see how you evolved into a full-blown artist. We're all here to create. We are creative beings. So when you're not creating, then you're not using what has been put inside of you to influence the whole. Everybody has something very distinct, and inside of you is something that no other person has ever had or ever will have. Your thing is to unearth what that is and expose it, and hopefully, change the world with it.
It was our goal to give the kids a safe environment to practice their artwork responsibly, and that's what we've done. But in this wave of Mural, we actually took the kids out to the community and worked with small businesses to help advertise their business on walls where they might have had some vandalism, but we're working with them now to advertise their business.
What's up? This is Geoff. You know me from the Mural program. We're here at the Great Kills Little League doing some murals.
Frank Campy, I'm the president of Great Kills Little League. We're having a great event. I want to thank Charlie B for coming up with the idea. They're having a ball, these kids.
I'm AJ and I'm 13. My name is Steve Viegas. I'm 12 years old. I painted this one. Max Foreman. I'm 13, and this is our thing. It's like a Yankee player, Yankee sign, GKLL, my number, his number. My name is Lewis. I am 9 years old.
We got my man Little Lou. We did his first board today.
Yo, what's good, people? Cody Prez here at the Little League out in Great Kills, just representing, doing some artwork for the kids. Got a bunch of different artists coming out and brighten up the field a little bit. All the kids should definitely enjoy it.
My name's Thomas Medina, I'm from Great Kills. This is our piece. I'm a catcher, so we do baseball, catcher's glove and everything. I'm Chris Leahy. I'm a pitcher, so I'll be throwing it into there.
What's up, peeps? It's me, Cast Rock, blazing it once again. What we got going is a little bit of airbrushing and spray cans. I kind of mastered it where I can move it, flow, and it gives it a little more detail.
My name is Sean Fakovic. I'm 12 and I'm a pitcher. My name is Eric Fleshner and I'm 12 and I did this. My name is Thomas and I'm 10 years old. What do I say?
What's happening? We're here at the Staten Island Film Festival representing. Today's the first day to kick off and we're going to be showing Mural. I'm excited about what the documentary is about because we pose a lot of very interesting questions. There's a large constituency of the populace that feels like graffiti is vandalism, but what the New York City ArtCypher put into construct is a useful means to use the artistry of graffiti for constructive means as opposed to destructive means.
My name's Pedro. I'm here to support Mural. I came here to see like the debate between vandalism or art. Graffiti is like a part of New York City's culture and stuff. Just here to show mad support to all the writers.
New York Cypher just finished my wall. It's a beautiful mural. Represents Staten Island very well. It has the Verrazano Bridge, the Clove Lakes Park, the Westerly Gazebo, and my store, of course. And I hope to see your program grow.
Yo, what's up? This is Milk D, aka Milk is Chillin'. Right now I'm at the Staten Island Film Festival checking out my boy Charlie B's movie Mural.
Myself and John Exit came out to check out Mural, see what it was about. I'm expecting to see some of my friends painting, myself painting, a little cameo in there. I think what Charlie's doing is positive for the community and it's a good thing and it'll only help spread the awareness that not all graffiti is vandalism and that there's a lot of positivity that can come out of it.
Hey, what's up? This is Matt Adams. I'm here with the New York City ArtCypher. We got our film Mural playing at the Staten Island Film Festival. I edited it and worked on it with Charlie B and the crew. It's one thing looking at it on a, like a small computer screen, and then when you see it projected, it takes on a whole nother life. So we're really having a great time and looking forward to the screening.
I thought Mural was wonderful.
It was great. It was unbelievable. I'd like to see more of it on Staten Island, to be honest with you. On our streets, on our buildings, everywhere.
I think it's great for the kids. I think it's a great program. Hopefully we'll see more of it. Charlie deserves a real round of applause for all his work. Good job, Charlie.
He's providing an outlet for the kids to express their creative artwork. It's very inspiring, and I hope that he gets the funds needed to continue the program because it's serving a justice for the community and for the kids of our future.
I came here to watch the movie because I do not live far from Broad Street, and I was very upset when I first seen what I figured was graffiti.
Now that you see the documentary, you feel differently about what goes on inside that building? That you have truly made me happy that I'm on this mission because I could not do it without being able to change people like yours minds. And honestly, let's give a round of applause right now, please.
It's a great thing. It's a beautiful thing because of the kids. If this is going to help the kids improve on their art and not do any kind of illegal stuff, I'm all for it.
The winner is Mural.
Wow. I have to honestly say that the Staten Island Film Festival is a great platform to get your work out there. And what other festival would really be able to put up with me? So, I really mean that, guys. To Caesar, to Janine, to Amory, to Scott, to my 40 brothers, to everybody, Lola Loretto, and that put up with. Look, it's all about passion, right? We struggle every day to do what we do to survive. But I run a nonprofit organization called the NYcArtsCypher, which I guess makes it a lot more difficult because we rely on funding and we rely on great people like the crew that I have standing behind me to fulfill our mission. And let me tell you, it is so hard with this issue. It's so controversial, this topic, and to be able to take something that's perceived as such a negative and be praised for it as something positive, it's just unbelievable. I definitely have to acknowledge the elected officials like Mike Cusick who are here, and if you can give him a round of applause. We just wanted to start the show. I want to also shout out Chris Williams from Chris Williams Iworks who gave us the opportunity to show our work to the community. But I definitely want to shout out Earl Mosley Jr., my motion graphics guy, right here. This is the man. I want to shout out Matthew Lee Adams, who called the surgeon, who shot and edited and put up with me as well to get this product out there. Stephanie, who we don't even have a title for her. She just helps me with everything. But first and foremost, I definitely have to shout out this man right here. His name is Gano Grills. If you don't know, this is a Staten Island celebrity standing right here, so please acknowledge him. I just want to give him 1 second to say something because he's so intelligent. Check him out.
How you doing?
on Staten Island. I wasn't prepared to say anything, but you know, I'm very proud to be from Staten Island, so I don't want to bore you with that because I know we all are proud to be part of that. And there's a lot of rich history on Staten Island. I have to shout out the RZA over here, another Staten Islander who, you know, done things worldwide, my brother. But the ironic thing about this is I'm an actor, so I'm not up here in actor capacity. And I have 4 films coming out very soon. But I'm actually here to, you know, to help change the perception, the negative perception that graffiti has, and anything that I could do as a spokesperson for that, I'll do to that end. So, you know, working with Charlie Balducci at the New York City Art Cypher, that's what we're doing, and I thank you very much for this and for acknowledging what we've been doing for the past 5 years, and it means a lot to me. All right, so, thank you.
Thank you, Staten Island.
On my door mean do not enter. Cool like winter till y'all see me lose my temper. Y'all don't got a lot of clout, y'all got a lot of mouth. With little heart without a doubt, all can spot them out. They standing out like spots on the leopard. Y'all don't make it rain, y'all drops in the desert. And since I'm on the topic of nobody copping records, I don't gotta be on top to be topping your efforts. Hot off the presses, those who doubt it, read about it. They say nobody's hot as the weapons. Bet my ego knows like a stop in a second. So I thank God everything I got is a blessing. Listen, everything I drop is a present. I'm a gift from the gods, I'm a prophet, a shepherd. So ahead of my times like I ain't born yet. I guess that's why I ain't on yet.
Can you